This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, let's start. Right, so in the last class, we have seen this example, uh, how to create radio buttons on selection screen. Okay, now in continuation to the same example, so if you observe the execution of this one, so I'll execute, I'll enter some input values. So after entering the input values, the user has to choose what? One of the radio button. Okay, after choosing the radio button, okay, the user needs to click on what? Execute button. Yesterday we understood that whenever we click on the execute button, SAP triggers an event called as what? Start of selection. Okay, on the selection screen, whenever the user clicks on this execute button, SAP triggers start of selection event. So on clicking this, I got the result. Okay, now here my next requirement is the moment I select the radio button. Okay, the moment I select the radio button, I should display the result. Means again, user should not click on what? Execute button. The moment if any one of the radio button is selected, I should display the result in a pop-up. Okay, I don't want to display it on the list processing screen. I want to display the result inside a pop-up. So yesterday we have seen how to what? Display the pop-up by using what? Message. So in this yesterday's case, just we gave the string here. Now, now what you have to do, we have to give the string as well as the result in the pop-up only. Okay, so we should know what is the event it triggered whenever the user selects a what? A radio button in the selection screen, radio button group. Okay, so same kind of thing. By default, the last radio button should be selected. At any point of time, user should be able to select only one radio button. Okay, and here the change I need to write is on selecting one of the radio button. Okay, on selecting one of the radio button, what you have to do, we have to identify the selected radio button, perform the appropriate operation, and display the result. Okay, display the result in a what? Information dialog box. In a information dialog box, so almost same, but the only thing is the moment I select, I should perform the operation. So what I'll do is, since everything is same, instead of redeveloping the program, I'll make a copy of this program. So how do you make a copy of the programs? Go to the initial screen. Okay, make sure that this source program is in active state. Okay, it is in active state only. So this is my source program, existing program. I'll click on the copy button. I'll give the target program name as 4. Okay, target program name is 4. I'll click on copy. Done. Understood? I repeat, this is my source program. On the application toolbar, we have the copy button. Click on that, provide the target program name. Let me give it as something 4. Click on copy. You'll get some check boxes. For the time being, just select all the check boxes. I can select one by one, or you can see in this pop-up we have a button what? Select all. If I click on this, everything will be selected. Just click on copy. I'll save that in a package. What package? Local object only. Done. Right, so everything is same. We know all these things. Yeah, I'm designing the block here. Done, 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 done. Yeah, so we wrote the yesterday logic inside which event? Start of selection, because yesterday we are clicking on the execute button. Now I don't want to click on the execute button, so let me comment this logic for the time being. I'm commenting the start of selection logic. Okay, how do you comment a block of lines? Select the lines. Select the lines, hold the control key and less than symbol. Right, so everything is what? Commented. And I require initialization event to initialize the fields. Okay, so when I execute, Let me activate the selection text also. Selection text are also what copied. I'll just click on activate. So when I execute, yeah. So what is the requirement now? The moment I select the radio button, I should identify the selected radio button and display the result. I don't want to click on what execute button. Okay. So what you have to do is, since I'm doing the action on this radio button group, since I'm doing the action on the radio button group, I need to assign something called as function code. Okay, so let us understand the concept of function code first. Just try to understand. Suppose assume that we have a screen. Okay, in this screen, I'll design some three buttons. Try to understand. I'll design some three buttons, push buttons. Okay, so assume that I'll give the labels as button 1, button 2, and button 3. Okay, the names of these buttons. Okay, just like if you take this example, every element on your screen should have what some name na? Suppose if you observe here, what is the name of this input field? P underscore what x. Okay, the name of the second input field is what? P underscore y. What are the names of the radio buttons? P underscore r1, r2, and r3, and what? R4, r5. They are the names of the radio button. So what I am trying to say is, every element on the screen should have what? Some name for unique identification. So in this case also, assume that we have three buttons. What are the labels I gave for the buttons? Button 1, button 2, button 3. Okay, so these buttons should have what? Some name. So assume that the name of this button is something b1, for example. Okay, the name of this button is b2. Okay, and the name of this button is what? B3. Okay, right. So I designed the screen which contains some three buttons, and the names of the buttons are b1, b2, and b3. Now what is the purpose of these buttons? When do we go for this push buttons? The user can click on these buttons. So if I click on this button 1, I should do some operation. If I click on the second button, some other operation. Okay, so these buttons are for what? User interaction. Okay, so when I click on the button in the runtime, means the selection screen is displayed in the runtime. Whenever I click on the button, my program should identify which button the user has selected. One second please. Yeah, so my program should identify which button the user has what? Interacted. Okay, so in order to identify the interacted button, for every button we need to assign something called as what? Function code. Okay, I repeat, every element on the screen should have what? Name. Similarly, with whichever element you are interacting, to identify the interacted element, we should have something called as function code. Okay, so assume that the function code for this button, I'll give it as fc1, for example. Okay, the function code of this second button, okay, I'll give it as something fc2. Any names, I'm giving it as fc1, fc2, fc2, and fc3. Function code of the third button is what? fc3. So this button, every button will have a name, and every button will have what? Function code. Name is used for what? Unique identification of the button. Okay, and this function code is used to identify which button was interacted in the runtime. Okay, interacted by the user in the runtime. So assume that the selection screen is displayed with how many buttons? Three buttons. Now I'll click on this button. Which button? Button 2. So what happens is, when I click on this button, yesterday we have seen some two events. What are they? Initialization event, and what is the other event? Start of selection. We understood that initialization is the first event triggered whenever we start the program execution. Similarly, we understood that start of selection event is triggered when you click on the execute button on the selection screen. Similarly, on the selection screen, whenever the user clicks on a button, push button, SAP will trigger an event called as at selection screen. Okay, we have an event called as what? At selection screen. So this is the event triggered. This is the event triggered whenever the user clicks on what push button. Okay, done. And how to identify the selected button means, I believe last class or last 2 days back, in one of the example I told about system fields. System fields means those are the fields given by what SAP itself, and we understood that system field starts with what sy hyphen. The values for those fields will be set by what SAP itself. Similarly, we have one system field called as what SciUcom. So assume that we have a system field called as SciUcom. So this SciUcom will contain what value? The function code of the button, the function code of the button which you have interacted. Suppose if I click on the button 2, what is the function code of the button? I give FC2. So this FC2 will go and sit in what SciUcom. Means I need to check the value of SciUcom and I can understand which button was interacted. Means if SciUcom equal to FC1 means you have to understand that the user has interacted with what first button. If SciUcom is equal to FC2, the second button. Understood? I repeat this once again. Every button on the selection screen needs to be associated with what function code. Function code is used for function code is used for identifying the selected button in the runtime. Suppose the screen is displayed to the user. If the user clicks on the second button, what happens? SAP will trigger an event called as what event? At selection screen event, and the function code of that interacted button will be captured in the system field called as what SciUcom. So what is the function code of the second button? FC2. Understood? Suppose if the user clicks on the third button, what is the function code of this? FC3. So SciUcom will be overwritten with what? FC2 will be overwritten with what? FC3. Similarly, okay, so keeping this in mind, so if the user clicks on the button, what is the event triggered? At selection screen is the event triggered. Okay, at selection screen is the event triggered. Okay, and the function code of that button will be captured in what system field? SciUcom, right? So on, click, done. Similarly, in our case now, we are having the selection screen. We are having some radio buttons, no? All these radio buttons belongs to what group? What is the group name I gave? GRP1 is the group name. Okay, so I'm having some 5 radio buttons. All these 5 radio buttons, belongs to a group called as what? Group 1. Okay, so if you go back to our example, yeah, I copied the third program to fourth. So what is the group name here? Group 1. Okay, done. So since all of them belongs to only one group, you can assign only what? One function code. But whereas here these are 3 different buttons, they doesn't belong to any group, they are individual elements, so I need to assign separate function code. But whereas here this is a group of radio buttons which belongs to what? Same group. So for this group also I need to assign what? Function code. So assume that here function code of my radio button group is what? FC1. Only one function code I can assign because they belong to what? Group. Okay, done. Now what I'll do in the runtime, user will select what? One of the radio button. Understood? The moment I select the radio button, okay, the moment I select a radio button, suppose if I select what? Third radio button, and assume that every radio button will have the names. Na? What are the names of this radio buttons? P underscore R1, this is P underscore R2, and this is P underscore R3, this is P underscore R4, and this is P underscore what? R5. Each radio button will have what? Name, and they belong to only one group, group 1. Since they belong to only one group, I can assign only one function code. Assume that I'll assign the function code as what? FC1. So in the earlier case, whenever the user interacts with the button, what is the event triggered? At selection screen. Similarly, whenever the user selects any one of the radio button in the runtime, SAP will trigger an event called as at selection screen on radio button group. At selection screen on radio button group. This is the event triggered whenever the user selects a radio button in the group. And here also same thing. What happens? The function code of that group will be captured in the system field. What is that system field? SciUCOM. What is the function code of the entire group? FC1. And how do we identify the selected radio button? Already we know radio button will contain either space or X as what? Values. Means what is the value of this? Suppose P underscore R1 I have not selected. This contains what? Space. Okay. And P underscore R2 again it is not selected. It contains what? Space. There is null value. I selected the third radio button. So this will contain what? P underscore R3 equal to what? X. Uppercase X. Am I clear? P underscore R3 equal to what? Uppercase X, which indicates what? It is selected. Similarly, the other two radio buttons, P underscore R4 is equal to what? Space. And again, P underscore R5 is again what? Space. Okay. So, I repeat once again. What is the understanding here? Whenever the user selects a radio button in the radio button group, SAP triggers what event? At selection screen on radio button group, and the function code of that group will be captured in the system field what? SciUCOM. And the value of the selected interacted radio button will contain what value? X. Since I selected the third radio button, the value of that radio button will contain what? X. Okay, so this is on what? Selection. In case of radio buttons, we call it as what? Selection. In case of buttons, I am calling it as what? Click, on click. So for buttons, the event triggered is at selection screen. For radio buttons, the event triggered is what? At selection screen on radio button group. Any questions? Please ask me. Okay, no questions. Fine. So let us implement it now. So I copied the third example to what? Fourth example. So what I have to do, since I need to perform the action the moment I select a radio button, I need to assign what? Function code. I can assign only what? One function code. So how do I assign here? See, this is my radio button. Here I'll say, for assigning the function code, we have to use an addition called as user command. User command, you can give any name. I'll give the name as what? FC1. Any name you can give, ABC, XYZ, whatever you want, you can give it. I give it as what? FC1. I'll try to assign function code for the second radio button also. I'll say user command FC2. Let me check whether I'll get any errors. Good. I got an error here. User command may only occur in the first parameter of what? Radio button group. User command may only occur in the first parameter of a radio button group. So I cannot assign multiple function codes. I can assign only one function code for the entire group. So what is the group function code name here? FC1. Done. Now, yesterday, what is the event I handled? Start of selection. Because yesterday we are assuming that user has to click on what? Execute button. But now, what is the requirement? On selecting one of the radio button, the moment I select only, I need to identify what? Selected radio button. So whenever we select any radio button in the group, what is the event triggered? Just now we have seen. What is that? At selection screen on radio button group. What is the group name here? GRP1. Understood? At selection screen on radio button group GRP1. Done. So I need to check the system field now. How do you check? If what? Or I'll go for case SciUCOM. Understood? Case SciUCOM. Understood? Just like switch statement in C plus Java, we have switch statement. Here we have what? Case SciUCOM. What is that? When FC1. And one more thing here. What is the function code I assigned FC1 in lowercase na? But when it is captured in the system field SciUCOM, it is always captured in what? Uppercase. Understood? In any event, the function code is always captured in what? Uppercase. Even though I gave it as lowercase in my program. In the runtime, when it is captured in SciUCom, it is always captured in what? Uppercase. So I need to compare with what? Uppercase. So when what? FC1 do so and so. When FC1 do so and so. So what is the logic? If same logic, no? Similar logic. So let me uncomment this. How to uncomment at a time? Select the lines. Done. Okay. I'll just remove all these things. Done. Okay, so I started case here. How do you close the case? End for if is what? End if. End for case is what? End case. End for case is what? End case. So case SciUCom when FC1. Okay, if it is FC1, then I am identifying which radio button is selected, whether R1, R2, R3, R4. Okay, this logic remains what? Same. But what I want, I don't want to display it on the LPS screen. If I use write statement will always display the output on list processing screen. But I want it on what? I want it on what? A information dialog box. So I don't want this part now. Okay, the moment I select, I should display the result in the information dialog box. So I should go for what? Message. So here let me remove this write statement. I'll try to use what? Message. Message. Okay, it is giving me error. So we'll see how to do it. Okay, done here also. I'll just remove the write statements. So I need to display it in what? Information box. Done. And initialization event is the first event triggered. Save it. Check for the syntax. No errors. Done. Okay, so what is the requirement now? This result should be displayed in what? Information box. Okay, so how do you display? I want to give the message as well as what? The value. Okay, I want to display the message as well as the value. So see what I'll do here. Just try to understand this. This message statement will always take what? String. It will always take what? String, a group of what? Characters. But where is the result stored now? Inside this variable, which is an integer variable. If I double click on this, what type of variable here? Integer. So see the adjustment that you have to do. I cannot display the integer in the message box. So see the technique. Let me declare some two variables. Data. Yeah, data. I'll declare a variable v underscore str1 type what? String. Try to understand. I'll declare another variable v underscore str2 type string, group of characters. Then I'll declare another variable v underscore message, any name, type what? String. So I declared what? Three string variables. I declared three string variables. Now see the technique what I'll do here. Here I am doing the addition. So here I'll say, okay, v underscore str1 is equal to, I'll say what? Sum of what? Or before using the variables, better we clear what? V underscore, or let me cover that later on. I'll say v underscore str1 is equal to what? Sum of two numbers. Sum of two numbers is done. And then I'll say v underscore str2 is equal to z, means equal to v underscore z. What is this v underscore z? V underscore z is integer. V underscore str2 is what? String. So what I am doing here, I am assigning the numeric value to what? String variable. Okay, it should take. Then what I'll do, I'll say, okay, clear v underscore msg. See what I'll do. I have to combine these two now. I have to combine these two. So I'll say what? Concatenate. We have one string function. We have one string function called as what? Concatenate. Combine what? V underscore str1 and what? V underscore str2 into what is the target variable? V underscore msg separated by what? Space. Understood? In this v underscore str1 I am storing some string, and in v underscore str2 I am storing the result. Then before I concatenate to this one, I'm just clearing. If any old value is there, it will clear that old value. Then I'm combining str1 and str2 into what? MSG separated by what? Space. Then I'll say message. What is the final variable? V underscore MSG type what? I. Type information message. Understood? This message will always take what? String. V underscore image is nothing but string only, na? It is of type what? String. So I'm writing some logic to concatenate this string and the result, and I'm concatenating both of them into the final variable what? V underscore image. Let me check it now. I've done it only for addition. Let me check. Right, I'll choose addition. Good. What I got? Sum of two numbers is what? 35. Okay, this is v underscore str1, this is v underscore str2, both of them is combined into what? V underscore msg. Repeat the same process for what? Other blocks, other else if blocks. So what I'll do here, yeah, here I'll say what, v underscore str1 is equal to, or let me do it here only. I'll say v underscore str1 is equal to what? Difference of two numbers is, okay, done. And then I'll say here okay, you are not printing there now. Okay, so let me directly try to print this. I'll remove this block. I'll say v underscore str2 equal to what? V underscore z, and then I'll say clear v underscore msg. Then same thing, I'll just copy this, concatenate v underscore str1 and str2 into v underscore images separated by what? Space. Let me check it. When I execute, I'll give some value 20 and 15. I'll choose difference. Difference of two numbers is 5. I'll choose addition. I got sum of two numbers is 35. Now I'll say this is something 20 and 45. What is the result? Minus 25. I'll choose difference. 25 minus. So again, what you have to do? You have to remove this hyphen from the right hand side. Keep it what? Left hand side. Keep it left hand side. So that adjustment we have to do. So what I'll do here is, yeah. How do you address that? I have to show it as minus 25. Let's say we have seen what? No gap, no sign, all those things. That is in the right statement. Now I need to do it for this message also. How can we address? Here I'll say if v underscore z, what if it is greater than or equal to 0? Okay, I'm printing this as it is. No issues. No issues. Done. Else, here I'll say else if v underscore z, or not else if, just I can say else. If it is not greater than or equal to 0, obviously it is what? Negative value. Okay, what I have to do? I have to remove the sign symbol from what? V underscore z. How can we do it? I have to remove the sign symbol from V underscore z. Anyone? Yesterday, if you observe the yesterday's case, if you see the yesterday's example, third example, we are able to remove that sign, all those things, but these are available as part of which statement? Right statement. Now I'm not using the right statement. Okay, so I need to do the changes here only. So how can we address that? Anyone? If it is greater than or equal to 0, I'm putting it like this. Else, okay, let me say like this first. Difference of two numbers is hyphen. Okay, let me say like this first. Done. Now I'll say clearing. Done, done, done. Okay, so just observe here. No errors. Right, I'll choose 20 and 15. Yeah, I got this is fine. Positive value fine. I'll choose addition 35. Done, working fine. Now I'll say this is 35. I should get minus 15. What I got difference of two numbers is minus 15, but this symbol I need to remove it. From the right hand side, I need to remove this symbol. So what we can do? Anyone? Srikant, Vamshi, what we can do? I can't use no sign here because that is available in the right statement. How do you remove the negative symbol here? Calculate length and clear last position. But how do we calculate the length? String length. Huh? String length will always take string variable. Na? But v underscore z is what? V underscore z is numeric. I cannot use string length for this v underscore z. One second. I'll declare one variable length type I. I'll say length is equal to what? String length of what? V underscore z I can't use because v underscore z is what? Numeric. Yeah, it is giving an error. String length is unknown. Watch, I need to give space here. Let me check. Save, check. No. What is saying here? V underscore z must be a character type data object. Data type C, character, alphanumeric, date, time, or string. Okay, one thing we can do is, okay, let me remove this here. One second. I'll just declare it here. Okay, I declared one variable what? Length type I, v underscore length type I. Okay, here, okay. One second. I'll just remove this here also. Control X, Control V. Here also I'll say Control X, Control V. Done. So here I'll say V underscore. I'll explain. Let me try this first. String length of what is the variable V underscore MSG. Okay, done. Done. Now I'll say V underscore position type I. I'm declaring one more interior variable. Let me try. Yeah, I'll say V underscore position is equal to V underscore length minus 1. V underscore length minus 1. Okay, done. Then I'll say okay. Let me declare another variable V underscore temp type string. V underscore temp type string. Then here I'll say V underscore temp. V underscore temp. Done. Here also I'll say V underscore temp. Done. Now I'll say clear V underscore MSG. V underscore MSG equal to V underscore temp plus 0 of V underscore position. Okay, done. Then let me try to display that. Done. Here I'm displaying. Okay, let me try it once, then I'll explain. I'm getting error. V underscore position is not defined. Comma. Check it. No errors. Yeah, I'll choose first difference. This is fine. I'm getting the positive value. Let me go for addition. Fine. Now let me say this as something 45. I'll choose difference. Good. I got what? Difference of two numbers is what? Minus 25. I'm able to display that. Okay, so I'll explain the logic. Just leave it for the timing. Let me complete the rest of the blocks, then I'll explain. Okay, done. Yeah, similarly, I have to do it for product also now. Let me just copy it from here. for product, I'll say v underscore str1 equal to what? Product of what? Two numbers is so and so. Done, done, done. Similarly, I have to do it for division also. V underscore str1 is equal to what? Division of two numbers is so and so. Done, 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 done. Yeah, done. Yeah, let me try all the things. I'll give 56, or let me give something 43. Done. I'll choose difference. What I got? Difference of two numbers minus 23. Addition is 63. Done. Product 860. And I'm doing the division 0. Yeah, 20 by 43 is what? 0 point so and so. But since it is a numeric value, it cannot store decimals. Okay. Working fine. None radio button is selected. Fine. I'll choose division now. Yes, division of two numbers is what? 4. Okay. Difference fine. Working fine. None radio button selected. I'll choose difference. Difference of two numbers is what? Minus 4. Working fine. Okay. So let me explain this. So first of all, what is the focus here? Whenever we select a radio button in the radio button group, what is the event triggered? At selection screen on radio button group, and the function code of that radio button will be captured in the system field what? Psi ucom. Okay, so that's the reason I am handling that event here at selection screen on radio button group. Yeah, if the user has selected the addition radio button, what is the value of the first radio button? X na? P underscore R1 equal to what? X. So I'm doing the calculation. This calculated result is stored inside what variable? V underscore Z. V underscore Z is what type? Integer. I cannot display integers as it is in the message. Message will always take character variable. Message will always take character as what? Input. So that's the reason what I'm doing. First, I'm assigning a string to str1. Then I'm assigning a numeric value to what? str2. See here. Numeric values can be stored in strings, but reverse is not possible. Strings I cannot store in numerics. Okay. So this is possible. Done. So I need to combine these two. How do you combine? We have one built-in string function called as concatenate. Concatenate means combine. It will concatenate str1 and str2 into what? Mag separated by what? Space. Separated by space. If I don't use separated by, what happens? See, let me comment this. Okay, so suppose here I'll choose addition. What happened? Sum of two numbers is 35. I'm not getting any space. So since I want a space between the string and the value, I used the addition called as what? Separated by what? Space. Not only space, whatever you want you can do. I can give separated by at the rate, whatever it is. Okay, any character. So I'm going for what? Space. Done. Then I'm using the message for display. I indicates what here? Information message. Yesterday we have seen that. Now let us come to what this particular difference. Okay. Now assume that, try to understand. We have p underscore x. P underscore is assume that I'll enter 20. P underscore y, I'll enter something 33, for example. Okay. So here what I'm doing here, I'm doing the difference. So v underscore z is how much? What? V underscore z is what? Minus 13. Minus 13. But it will be stored as what? 13 minus, na? Yesterday we have seen it is stored as what? 13 minus. So what I am doing here, if v underscore z is greater than 0, I have to display it as it is. Nothing I have to do. Okay, this anyhow will understand that. Else part means if it is a negative value, yes, it's a negative value only. Control comes to what? Else part. So what I am doing here, difference of two numbers is before closing the string, I am using an hyphen because I have to show it as what? Negative value. Okay, so I have given hyphen here. Done. Then I am assigning v underscore z to what? V underscore str2. So just try to understand what this v underscore str1 will contain. It contains what? Something like this. Difference of what? Two numbers. Okay, is it will contain this value. Okay, that is v underscore str1. And inside v underscore str2, what you are doing? We are assigning v underscore z. What is there in v underscore z? 13 minus. So this is available. Done. So both are string variables now. Then what I am doing? I took another string variable v underscore temp. I am concatenating this str1 and str2 into what? V underscore temp. So what this v underscore temp becomes now? It contains what? It contains something like this. difference of two numbers is so and so, and what is the other variable we are concatenating? V underscore str2. So it contains like this. Understood? V underscore temp, temporary variable, contains what? This particular string, difference of two numbers, and what? 13 minus. But when I'm showing, I have to remove this hyphen. So I know that hyphen is at the last place. Okay. Then what I did here, I declared another variable v underscore length, which is a what type? Integer. I am having another string function, just like concatenate. We are having another string function called as str length, string length. Okay, string length of v underscore temp. Okay, it will calculate the length of this. It will calculate the length of this. For example, assume that what is the length here? So assume that the length is something 45. For example, this, or assume that the length is what? 25. From year to year, from year to year, the length is what? 25. Done. Okay. Now what I am doing is here, I have to remove the hyphen from the last position. So what you have to understand is, just observe this. Yeah. I declared another variable v underscore position equal to v underscore length minus 1. So why I said v underscore length minus 1 means, see the concept here. What is the length I got? 25. Okay. 25 is the overall length. Now I am saying what? V underscore position equal to length minus 1. So V underscore position becomes how much? 24. Because I said what? Length minus 1. Now what I am doing here, in my final variable, V underscore MSG is equal to, what is the logic here out here? V underscore temp. So my entire content is there in this only, na? In this only. Okay. So plus 0 of what? So and so. What is this 0 means? 0 indicates the first position, means the position of this, the string index in ABAP, the string index starts from what? 0. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of thing. Am I clear to everyone? Okay, the index starts from what? 0. Okay, the position of D is what? 0. The position of I is what? 1. So what is the meaning of this? In the string so and so, starting from the index 0, starting from the index 0, extract how many characters? These many number of characters. How many? 24. So I said like this. What is the logic here? V underscore MSG is equal to V underscore temp plus 0 of what? V underscore position. What is the V underscore position? 24. Means starting from the index 0, extract up to what? 24th index. Extract up to what? 24th index. Am I clear? So what happened now? This will be ignored now. This will be ignored because I said length minus 1. Okay, this will be ignored. So I'll get only up to what? Difference of two numbers is up to what? 13 only. That is stored in which variable? V underscore what? MSG. So V underscore MSG contains what value now? This value up to this. Without hyphen, I'll have this value. Hope it's clear. Then after that, I am just displaying the message. So the main thing is string length will return what? Length of the string. Then I said position equal to length minus 1. Why length minus 1? Because I know that in ABAP the index of the string starts from what? 0 position. 0 position. Okay. So that's the reason I said what? Length minus 1. So starting from the index 0, extract how many number of characters? 24 characters. Overall length is what? 25. So starting from the index 0, extract 24 characters means up to this only. Overall length is 25. It will extract only first 24 characters starting from the index 0. That's what I am doing. Any questions, please ask me. Okay, so let me try to show the debugging. Okay, means I want to know how it is executing internally. Okay, so for that, what you have to do, we have to debug the program. Okay, debugging again, it will discuss elaborately going forward, but just to give you the glimpse of the debugging. Okay, let us see how to do it. So debugging is what? It is a process of what? Checking the flow of program execution step by step. Means by debugging, we can understand how the control is flowing in the program from one place to another place. So in order to debug, we need to set what? Breakpoints. In order to debug, we need to set what? Breakpoints. In order to set the breakpoints, the program should be in what? Active status. The program should be in active status. Anyhow, it is active. I am not interested to debug the entire code. I am interested to debug only this part. Which part? The difference part. So what I'll do, okay, let me put the breakpoint here otherwise. Where inside the that selection screen on radio button group, I'll put the breakpoint. How do you put the breakpoint? So here, put the cursor anywhere on that line. On the application toolbar, you can see set session breakpoint. So what is a breakpoint? A breakpoint is like a signal to the system. It is a signal to the system which will stop the program execution whenever it is encountered. So I'll put the cursor here. I'll click on what? Set session breakpoint. So done. I'm getting an error. You can only set the breakpoints in an active unchanged source. It is as of now inactive here. Let me activate once again. So I'm putting the breakpoint here. Done. So you can see this is a breakpoint signal. So how do we execute the program? F8. I'm executing. I got the selection screen fine. Now observe here. I'll enter something 56. Done. I'll choose difference. The moment I select the difference, what is the event triggered? At selection screen on radio button group. So I have set the breakpoint in that event now. It will stop there. See here, I'll choose difference. Yes, it is stopping in that event. Why it is stopping? Because I have set the breakpoint. Whenever the control comes here, whenever the control encounters the breakpoint, it will stop the execution. Okay. So I have interacted with the second radio button. What is the function code of that group? FC1. So see the value of SciUCom. When I double click on SciUCom, what I got? FC1 means you have interacted with that group only. Then with what radio button you have interacted? Second one. So see the value of P underscore R1. If I type P underscore R1, it is showing it as space here, which indicates what? It is not selected. I'll choose P underscore R2. It is what? X. Yes, because we have selected the second radio button. If you see P underscore R3, again it is what? Space, because we have not selected that. We have selected what? Second radio button. Done. So cursor is here. Arrow pointer you can see. How do we execute one statement at a time? Press what? F5. Press F5. So what is the value of SciUCom? FC1. Do we have when FC1? Yes, control will go there. I'll say F5. Done. It is going there. Then when FC1 done, it is checking this first condition. If P underscore R1 equal to X, what is the value of R1? Space. This if condition is not satisfied. So see here, I'll press F5. It is checking the condition. This condition will not be satisfied now. So if this if condition is failed, control goes to what? Next else if. So when I say F5, always press what? F5. Done. It is going to the next condition. What is that? Else if P underscore R2 equal to what? X. Else if P underscore R2 equal to X. Yes, this condition is satisfied now. R2 contains X only. So when I say F5, since the condition is satisfied, it will enter this if block. It will enter this else if block. So when I say F5, yes, it is entering inside the else if block because that condition is satisfied. Now see the value of P underscore X. Double click. P underscore X is 20. P underscore Y is how much? 56. And if you see V underscore Z, by default it contains what? 0. We have not yet performed the difference. When I say F5, the current statement will be executed. So let me say F5. Yes. What is the result I got? In V underscore, what is the result? 36 minus. Always the negative symbol will be captured in the right hand side. So then I am checking the condition again. Nested if within the if. If V underscore Z is greater than or equal to 0, what is the value? 36. Minus 36, na? So it is a negative value. So what happens? This if condition is failed. It will go to what? Else if. So when I say F5, yes, it is going to the else part. It is going to the else part. Now, see here. I am saying what is the value I stored in V underscore str1 as of no space. So let me say F5. Done. So V underscore str1 contains what? Difference of two numbers is hyphen up to this. Then V underscore Z value I am assigning to what? V underscore str2. So if you see V underscore str2, as of now it is blank. As of now it is blank. V underscore str1 is so and so, and V underscore str2 is blank. I'll say F5. Done. So what is there in V underscore str2? What? 36 minus. Okay. Done. So just observe this. Let me remove all these things. I'm not interested in this. So V underscore str1 is so and so. What is the other variable? I'll remove all these things. What is the other variable? V underscore str2. Okay, these are the two values. Then if you observe V underscore temp, nothing is there. What I am doing here, fi, I am trying to concatenate, combine these two and put it inside what? V underscore temp. So see the value of V underscore temp now. When I say fi, yes, what does it contain? Difference of two numbers is hyphen followed by what? 36 minus. Okay, then what I am doing? I am calculating the length. If you see V underscore length, as of now 0, what this string length function will do? It will calculate the length of this particular string. What is the length I got? See, when I say fi, what is the length here? 34 it seems. The length of this entire string is what? 34 it seems. Then I am saying V underscore position equal to length minus 1. So when I say fi, yeah, what I got? 33. Position is what? 33. Then if you observe this V underscore MSG, what I am doing? Start in the string V underscore temp, starting from the index 0. Means the index of D is what? 0. Always the index of above string starts from what? 0 only. So starting from the index 0, extract how many number of characters? What is the value of V underscore position? What is the value of V underscore position? 33. So starting from the index 0, extract how many characters? 33 characters. Overall length is what? 34. But I am saying what? Extract only 33 characters. Starting from what? Index 0. So if you see V underscore MSG, this will be executed now. Fi, done. What I got? Difference of two numbers is minus 36. Done. And then I am displaying the message. How do you come out of the debugging mode? This is called as debugging mode. How do we come out of this? F8. Okay, I got the result. I came out of the program. So don't worry about the debugging. I will discuss the debugging almost in every program going forward. We'll discuss elaborately. Just I want to show you how this logic is getting executed internally. So in order to debug, first of all, the program should be in active state. We need to set the breakpoints so that whenever we start the execution, whenever the breakpoint is encountered, the control will stop there. From there, you can debug step by step by pressing what? F5. And at any point of time, to come out of the debugging, press what? F8. Hope this is clear. Any questions, please ask me. Done? So we have seen three events so far: initialization event, start of selection event, and what else? At selection screen on radio button group. So tomorrow we'll see other examples and we'll try to understand other events. Done? So if you don't have any questions, I'll wind up for today. Chalo then, shall wind off. We'll continue tomorrow.